Okay, good morning from McBean's Farms and Prepping. What we're going to talk about today is storage and repurposing products that you have. So what I'm going to start with is, this is not beer. It was beer, but then after I drank it, I washed out the glass, and then I put filtered water in it. Now these have been down in my basement for a couple years, and I have this for emergency water, and every now and then you have to kind of test what you've prepped, because can water go stale? That's the question. So we're going to sit there and we're going to kind of test it. Hopefully I will not be harmed doing this. So here's the bottle I've had down in the basement quite a few years. So first of all, we pop it, then we get the old sniff test. It smells like water. And you really have to make sure you clean these well enough. But what I will do is about every couple of years, I will see how it looks. And does the bottle need to be re-cleaned? Well, the bottle will get re-cleaned anyway. So I pour it in, and we kind of give it the, is there any floaties in there? So I don't see anything floating. Now, a lot of things you can do is you can refilter it. Should have had it here. My mistake. A lot of times you can sit there and filter the water. And how do you filter it? Well, I grab some coffee filters. About once a month, I buy a couple of these, more than I need for my coffee, and you can kind of just tuck it in the glass like that. I do have a funnel. This will probably work even better. Let me put that in there. This is for my canning, and you can filter the water slowly. Remember, water has weight. Through a couple coffee filters, and then if there was anything that was floating, you can filter that out. You can throw a little charcoal in there if you wanted to refresh it. And filters are cheap. You can buy, 500 of these for a couple bucks. And that's what I do. So I'm going to filter about half of it. Now I won't drink out of this glass because I haven't washed it yet. I did buy it new, but I really don't see any clarity difference. So this tells me, is my preps safe? Tastes like water. So I know this is a valuable option. So I got quite a few of these down there. And what I'll do is I will put back filtered water into them after I give them another rinse out. Sometimes you think you've cleaned them well, but you have not. But you need to test it, because in times of emergency, and if I had to use this for drinking water, and I pour it into a glass and it's all cloudy, well, my drinking water has become water to use for dishes, water to use for flushing the toilet, water for use washing your hands, so it still has a purpose. So yeah, both are fine. Now, if I do get some sort of botulism by tomorrow night, I'll let you know. So these are the things that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewash these anyway. Just you want to kind of do that with your preps every now and then. Just like you rotate your stack, you know, you refresh your water supplies. So what it'll be is every morning now, I'll grab a 4-pack or 5-pack or whatever I have, and I'll get them refilled up after I give them a quick rinse. Probably won't use soap again, because the fact that they taste good tells me I don't need to. So, what else can you do? Well, for short-term storage, I use the Aquafina bottles because they generally are a heavier plastic. Binks is looking at me like, what's going on? Binks is my cat. Hi, kitty kitty. Want to come and say hi to everybody? Well, there's never a video without saying hi to Binks. Say hi to everybody. Alrighty, let's go and say hi to everybody. Hey, hi, Binks. Hello. Now, Binks does not freak out about seeing a reflection. I don't think she understands it's her. But this is a feral cat that was around me for 6 years. Decided to become my pet cat a couple years ago. She's a great mouser, and she keeps the mice out of the house. So she's well worth having. Say bye-bye, Binks. Bye-bye. All right. So for short-term storage, like I keep in the fridge, I do reuse these. A lot of times we're buying these by the case, which is pretty wasteful. It's not like we don't have enough plastic floating around the ocean. So, it's time for an opinion. Woo, look out. So, be nice, YouTube. So, the opinion I have about climate change. Climate changes all the time. It is really the definition of climate. Weather changes. Pollution, on the other hand, is where our problem is. We literally have islands of plastic floating in the ocean. But to want to sit there and help the planet, let's pick up that trash and reuse it. Instead of talking about cow farts. Other things. So, sugar. I like to buy them in plastic containers when I want to use them. But then when I'm done and I buy the bag ones, which are cheaper, I store them in glass. And I write the date. September 1922 or 2022 is when I put it in. Stuff stays stored in glass far longer. Get that down in a cool, dry place. If I want, I could throw the oxygen dissolver in there or moisture dissolver. It would last even longer. More repurposing. Old spaghetti bottles. We clean them out. And I use them to can salsa. Now the salsa I'll use within a year. All right, and it's got a nice seal on it. The one thing is you do want to test it. You know, when you decide to use it, you give it the old smell test. So there's 4 pints, well, a couple quarts and a pint. I got 12 pints I did the other day. Another thing, storage from your garden. I made 15 quarts of sweet pickles, and they came out really good. Now I did buy a mix. I bought Mrs. Wages mix. This one's for dill. I haven't made them yet, and I was really happy with it. I always keep a lot of vinegar. An old coffee can, old M&M can. I keep my dry cat food in here. This keeps the ants out of it. I live out in the country. Yeah, if you put a bag of food on the ground, eventually you'll get ants. Put them in here, you don't. I try to stock up on my coffee creamer. That's what this is, coffee creamer. And then one of the other things that you may want to grab, a can or two every time you go to the store, is I like the Keystone canned meats. All right, now they have one up in price, but these are good. Best by date, not an expiration date, a best by date of 2027. So I use these in chili, I use them in soups, and it's a great source of protein. Buying peanut butter and peanuts is another great way of doing it. But so here's just a couple things. Oh, the packages I get my sandwich meat in. All right, I keep these in the lids, and I use these to pack my sandwiches in to take to work. Basically free Tupperware. So those are things, just your household things. When I finish up with this coffee, it will store even more cat food. Remember to store extra food for your pets. I'm going to enjoy the pickles all year. I'm going to enjoy the salsa all year. Salsa I use for chips, and I'll also use for chili. You know, because I got tomatoes in there, I got peppers in there, I got onions in there. You know, all the things I'm going to throw in a chili anyway. So I hope you find this useful. These are things that, and if you can think of other things that you can use that you purchase from the store that will have a good purpose afterwards. Understand, I can put flour in here, I can put pasta in here. You know, these are great for dry foods, not just for canning. So, McBean's Farms and Prepping, everybody have a wonderful day, stay healthy and stay prepped.